Well, hello everybody. I am going to do a flip through today. It is July 31st, which is a special day, and I thought it was time to share 10 years later a flip through of a journal I made when my family went to Universal Studios Florida, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter for the first time. And here is the book I made to celebrate that. Now, I haven't looked at it in several years, so it's going to be a little bit of rediscovery for me as well. And it's a pretty big book, honestly. So if I look at the spine, I don't have a ruler in here right now, but it is at least 4 inches. I don't know. I can't remember how big it is. But you can see here I've got the label with just the Tim Holtz label holders, Florida 2015, and we did the whole Universal experience back then, and that was a couple years after it opened, so it wasn't the first year, but it was a couple years, and it's changed since then. But this is just a cardboard cover I made to look like old leather, like an old school book, and put some little metal plates on it. I don't remember exactly what all techniques I used. Looks like this was some kind of fabric I dyed, and then of course I just have it tied in binding with some leather so things can slip in and out. It might be a little loose because leather does that, so we're not mad. But let's go ahead and just do our flip through and just show you guys how you can create something just to help you celebrate. You can use junk journaling to help you celebrate your family vacation too. So I had just done lots of like maps and travel type things, as well as like very vintagey, which is my style. And I printed out a letter for my family to go to Hogwarts to get in, and just tried some things. Here's my girls. This was a bag we got there, a plastic bag, and I did the ironing technique to merge layers of it, and just left it like that. I like things interactive, so you'll see lots of flips and flaps and folds as we go through. We had a photo bomber, so I don't know who that is, but anyway, we had our transportation. This is all the travel to get there. This is our first night over there. I used all kinds of different kinds of things. There's some Jimmy Buffett lyrics since we went to Margaritaville. Here was our key cards from the Hard Rock Hotel over there. Here's some more of that bag. Here's a napkin from the Hard Rock. The fountain with the guitars, which is very cool there. Oh, here we go. Dr. Seuss Land. I'm not even sure if that's there anymore. But then we slowly start getting into the Harry Potter stuff. But we did do everything there because, you know, we were kind of doing one and done kind of thing. Don't be afraid to fussy cut out pictures. I think it's super cute and effective sometimes. Here's the map that we used, or one just like it. I just cut it to fit in and then just did a little decorating on it. Yeah, I glued it together and turned it into a page. Here, my daughter was into SpongeBob, so we really went hard on the SpongeBob. I felt so bad. She bought this beautiful SpongeBob cup, and literally I knocked it off the counter when we got home and broke it. But it's the way it goes. This was fun. You just kind of stand there and just kind of hold on to it, but it made these cute little cartoon-looking photos. So I think I used an Echo Park line maybe for this book. I don't remember the exact line, but it was one of the ones they had a while back, and I loved it. The Blues Brothers were there. This was 2 pictures. I just cut him so it looks like he's here, and then you see him also walking here. So it's just kind of like a little action shot. The parade, Dora the Explorer, the Transformers, and Despicable Me. Here's another picture that I cut. Just cut it into pieces, and then you can see my arm there and my arm there. Like that. Here we're waiting in line at the Despicable Me ride. Allie loved the Rip Ride Rocket. She thought it was so fun. This was The Simpsons. Oh, we finally made it to Harry Potter. I think this was the photo thing they give you when they're taking your pictures. They would give you little cards for to QR the photo. I don't think I ever did that. All right, I'll have to get that back in later. All right, just a little bit of rolled paper here. It was magical. It was such a fun trip. I made this teeny tiny little Marauders map and then just stuck it in here like that. I literally took 2 photos and glued them together. I put a little cardboard between them and turned it into a tip-in. So for all your extra photos, you can do that. Here's a little postcard I wrote with a picture on it. I didn't mail it, but I wrote it. These are just like used stamps, or they were on here already, whatever. Anyway, I wrote it to our dog because he was not there with us. And it was magical because there we went into the castle. Lots of flips and folds. All right, we went and had lunch. We had the Plowman's Platter, which is just kind of a charcuterie kind of thing. Nowadays, that's what you call it, charcuterie. A little tag right there. Hidden journaling, butterbeer, a tag with some pictures on it. Here we are on the train, platform 9 3/4. Just did some waterfall pictures of us there walking through platform 9 3/4. You kind of start to disappear. And then we couldn't find the entrance to the secret hideaway or Diagon Alley, whatever we were looking for. There's the dragon. And so I just did a little waterfall there. I did a little pocket here. And then I made this into a flip book of the dragon. Really, let's see if I can get it out of the shadow. You can see how it is. And then I just put instructions here to flip. This is just some faux leather, and then I just stitched around it. I did do some printing on the computer. This is when we got on the night bus with Stan Shunpike. Turned a little bit of paper into parchment and did some journaling there. Here we are at Honeydukes, where we got lots of this candy. This is from the box, the Fizzing Whizbees. Here we are at Ollivander's. You're not supposed to take a picture with flash, and of course my husband did, so he got a picture of the guy staring out. Here's another map I stuck in there. This was the same picture. I think I actually printed it twice, so I just fussy cut it, and now it's dimensional and just kind of pops off the page there. This opens up. We had a little naming ceremony for Allison's new Pygmy Puff, Oliver. The ice cream we had. Hagrid's motorcycle. The Owl Emporium. Oop, see, now it's come undone. Sometimes the double stick tape doesn't always stick for me. But here is it Fluffy? Yep, Nellie's pet. And then here's where all the animals and the owls lived. Part of the spells that we went around and did. The Vanishing Cabinet in Borgin and Burke's. And the Hand of Glory, is that what it's called? All right. I took a picture of my daughter taking a picture of herself in the Vanishing Cabinet. Then we went to the Splash place, Wet and Wild. That's part of Universal, and had a day there. We spent a day at the hotel, the Hard Rock, having a good time. Just hanging out at the pool. Here's the Hard Rock hotel map. Let's see, does any of this move? They did a relay race. So I got lots of pictures of that. Here's some tickets from Universal Orlando. I just stuck them in here. What else am I gonna do with them? And then also some passes with our picture on it from something. You can see how their color, the heat changes them up. Then we actually went to the Hard Rock Cafe that was there. Took some pictures. Got some little flags, probably from our hamburgers. And then at the very end, I just tucked in a bunch of pictures I didn't use and tickets that didn't get in. You can see I started to put some tags on some of them, but it looks like I never finished, and that's okay. I was just gluing them together and double-siding them. And then they just live back here in this pocket. All right, that is how I junk journal. Created a book for my family vacation. I'm actually working on another one right now for my current vacation, but it is a work in progress. Thanks so much. Happy July 31st, everybody. Bye.